Hello! Apologies that it's taken me a while, but I'm finally getting into the latest playground craze of fidgety stuff to hang on to and fiddle with your hands. The most popular being the fidget spinners, this being a hideously cheap version, because of course for this channel I went and found the cheapest versions of all of them possible. This is apparently Whirler's finger fidgets, #1 fidget gadget. If you haven't seen one of these, it's just a nice tactile thing to play with, basically. Like if you have a nice television and the remote control feels nice in your hand, that kind of thing. But just something to, I don't know, take your mind off. Some people say it helps them concentrate. Some people say it can help with stimulation stuff for people with Asperger's and autism and stuff. But frankly, I would like to see some studies on that before I commented. And yeah, basically, it's got magnets and ball bearings in, you go. And it keeps spinning for ages. So this one doesn't keep spinning for ages because it's a piece of shite. It really is. Yeah, I can feel it like working against itself now, as if it's just not smooth enough to keep going. And I don't know, you can probably do tricks with them, or some gubbins, if you particularly want. They're not the most interesting of things, but if you do like fiddling with stuff while you're doing something, there are worse options available, like, I don't know, a lump of cyanide. That would be a terrible thing. Imagine if you got some in your mouth. But I tell you what I do find fascinating, not these things in themselves, but just the idea of playground crazes and where all this stuff comes from and why inexplicably something so pointless becomes such a big thing among the kids. And it's been happening since the year dot, since probably, you know, before the invention of the hula hoop, which has just reminded me of the film The Hudsucker Proxy, which is a great film. You should watch that. Anyway, yes, there is a weird, almost mass hysteria sort of thing amongst kids for whatever the latest craze is. And it's always something, as I say, kind of useless, but kind of harmless as well. With the possible exception of when I was young, there was a big Beastie Boys phase, and people were stealing the Volkswagen symbols off cars, because it was a craze to have them. That was obviously less good, because it involved theft and criminal damage. But usually it's just something like this. And all the kids are really excited by them for like a month, and then they disappear into history. Other recent ones include those Loom Bands, if you remember those, where you could sort of knit little rubber bands together. Also recently there's another rubber band thing called Scoobies or something that were like animal-shaped rubber bands that you could stretch and stick around your wrist, and they don't really do anything. Before that, there were these rubbery alien toys that gave birth or something. Seriously, they had like little other aliens inside them. I'm not entirely sure how those worked. I never got hold of one of those. Then going back years before that, Tamagotchis were a thing. Those little Japanese pretend pets, I suppose. It was like a shapeless mass you had to feed, and then it died after a few days, which is a horrifying metaphor for having a pet. Pokemon cards, of course. Who could forget Pokemon cards? They were like the biggest thing for ages. When I was at school, though, the big things were Panini sticker albums. Now, I should point out that Panini is the company that made them. They weren't sticker albums, and all the stickers were of, like, sandwiches or something. They were just, you know, they were the ones you collected. Transformers was the big one. I think the Transformers movie had just come out, so that was the one everybody was collecting. And number 7 was the rare sticker and all that kind of stuff. There were Coca-Cola branded yo-yos, which I'd forgotten about until a friend mentioned them the other day. And yeah, that was like a huge thing. I think I had a white Fanta branded one. They weren't actually very good yo-yos. Then they kind of upgraded the yo-yos to ones with gears in, but it was less popular then. And one I distinctly remember, trim balls. And if you don't know what a trim ball is, it's one of these. Yeah, you know, you bounce on it and all that kind of stuff. And it's just fascinating the way these things come like little physical memes and then they're forgotten about afterwards. And something else fascinating is that older people violently hate them frequently. There's probably people who have seen I've picked up a fidget spinner at the start of this video and have left some comment along the lines of, I can't believe you're doing fidget spinners, and then had a heart attack at their keyboard, probably from sheer hatred, anger and fear. It's really odd. Seriously, when anything becomes a school craze, older people hate it. And I think it's purely down to the sort of fear of aging thing. Oh no, here is a new thing I don't understand, which has subconsciously made me realise that I'm getting older. Well, bad news, boys. We're all going to die, and it's all going to involve suffering and fear, because that's the way everything works. That was jolly, wasn't it? But yeah, seriously, I've seen such nonsense. And they come up with the same lines every time. Things like, well, when I was at school, all the crazes were at least useful. No, they weren't. If it was useful, it wasn't a craze, you idiot. Yeah. Remember that time we stopped a bridge collapsing using pogs and Tazos? Good grief. Is there anything more useless than a... Oh, God. I've just remembered, right, you know a Pog, right? It's, I don't have any to hand, thank God, but they're like a circle of cardboard with a picture on, and they were apparently collectible. Yeah, don't ask me. Then there were Tazos, which was a similar thing, but they were slightly more plasticky, and they had little ridges cut in them, and you can like construct things out of them. There was a huge craze for Star Wars ones that came in like Walker's Crisps or something. I distinctly remember those. I mean, I was too old for the sort of playground craze. I had a full-time job at the time. But even people where I worked were collecting these damn things. I imagine if you go on eBay now, you can probably get one of the collector's folders they had absolutely full of a complete collection of them for about 4p or something, because every person in the world had a set of them. Ah, those weren't the days. Anyway, yeah, these aren't particularly interesting. They just spin, and, you know, whatever's, if you've got a good one, it'll spin for ages. I'll tell you what I found more interesting. The Fidget Cube. I bought a friend one of these a while ago, because we often talk about nice tactile things, like the remote controls and that, and prayer beads, if you know of those, which are like sort of beads people fiddle with in some European countries. So I bought him a nice Fidget Cube. This is a very cheap one. But do you know what? I picked up something the other day, and I haven't opened the box yet, and I'm absolutely dying to look at it, right? Fidget Cube is basically a cube. It has 6 sides, something to fiddle with on each side. Then there's this goddamn thing, monstrosity, which I picked up. Fab quality, not for the price I paid. Yeah, I haven't worked out what the minion thing is yet. We'll work that out in a second. A little body to satisfy your all-hand addictions. Thank God, my all-hand addictions have been getting out of whack recently. I've had cognitive behavioural therapy for it, but my all-hand addictions cannot be stopped. Yeah, seriously, I haven't actually counted the size. Let's work it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 sides. Is that a dodecahedron? I think it might be. I don't know off the top of my head. I really hope it is, because if not, everyone in the comments will be going, that's not right, even though they had to look it up first. I know what you're like. Right. Modern people face a variety of emotional states. That's true. Such as stress, frustration, tension, and distraction. Now you only need to move a finger to give yourself an effective psychological suggestion, and adjust mood quickly. What? Holy Crystal Decompression Magic Cube. Is this seriously called Holy Crystal Decompression Magic Cube? Oh, yeah, it is. Look, it's on the back of that sticker. Look, Holy Crystal. Why is it on the back of that sticker? Right. See it there? It's on the back of the sticker, but not on the front. And it's printed backwards. What the hell? You got to hold a mirror up? Oh, dear. Anyway, Holy Crystal Decompression Magic Cube is full of 12 small trivial organs. It's 12 appendixes, isn't it? Appendices? You can come and try it. Thanks. Thanks for that. Oh my God! There's instructions in the bottom. If anything as good as the, yeah, I'm not interested in the device now. I just want to read the instructions if they're anything as bad as those. So apparently it comes with a free minion keychain. Well, I think it's a key. Oh, it's for the top of a key. Look, you slide a key into it and then put that through the hole in it, and then you have a rubber false minion face on your key, and I don't know, you're the coolest kid in Christendom. Right, let's read the instructions. Balls. Hang on. Oh, that's right. We do have some English. I have 12 surfaces. Each side has the function of adjust emotion that ensure to adjust your negative mood. Man, this is adjusting my negative mood already. 1. Gear. The side has 3 gears which can be poked and rolled, spreading voice of clear and harmony. Okay. Moving gears spreads voice of clear and harmony. I'm glad to hear that. Bloody hell. Sorry, right, let's get back to this. Rotating disc. Do you want to a rotating disc? You can come and try it. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Button. Game controller button experience using ABS material to enhance texture. There's a little joypad on. That's interesting. Silicone ball. Soft and exquisite hand feeling. Resilient. Yeah, you give this ball a good pound and it'll be fine. Switch. You can have experience of the ubiquitous switch rhythm. I'm not sure I could experience that, and if I could, I'm sure I couldn't relate what it felt like in words. Joystick, 360 rotation joystick. All right, that makes sense. Silicone rope, free shrinkage. Oh man, I'm so sick of paying for shrinkage. It can be hung anywhere and not afraid of missing. Or cannot be lost, I presume. This is just wonderful. I think I might just end the video after this. Nothing can compare to these. Soft button. People who like pressing ball pen can try it. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, filling the end of a pen. Soft silicone. Small, soft tactility. tactility, that have the function of blood circulation and massage. Worry stone. Using fingers to rub repeatedly that can relieve stress and annoyance effectively. Sliding block. Sliding the sliding block to adjust own life rhythm. What? I think you've made a bit of a grand statement with that one, haven't you? You know, this feels nice if you rub your finger on it. This will adjust your own life rhythm. And finally, smiling face. Is little face very cute? It won't be angry no matter how to pinch. Oh, man. Oh, that's great. Well, let's better look at the thing now. So, we've got the sliding gears. Just adjust my life rhythm. Yeah, you just move them up and down. And there's a little bit of resistance to them, but they move very smoothly. It's quite pleasant, actually. Oh, it's an on-off switch. Literally just a switch that they bought cheap and stuck into it. There's a sad, angry face. You can squeeze it and pull it, and it looks like it's going to break. I'm going to stop doing that. Oh, there's the ballpoint pen button. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Well, here's the three faces. We've got shocked, happy, and teeth like a grill. That makes sense. And, oh, there's just smaller versions of that other one. You can fiddle them about, that's fun. Here's a bit of soft rubbery stuff. And, yeah, if you push it too hard it hurts. That's exciting. Ah, the joypad. Well, it's better than some of the pop station stuff I've done, anyway. Oh, and there's the worry stone. That's just like a smooth surface. You need that to be a little bit rubbery and in some way more tactile, don't you? Oh, there's a spinning. Well, that's a bit rubbish. Again, just a standard component they've got from something and slapped on, isn't it? Analog stick. It really is just an analog stick. It's not too bad a one, actually, considering. And, these are rubbish. There's no resistance to these. Like, you can literally spin them round. I suppose that's supposed to contrast with those. And finally, so it don't go missing, a rubbery thing like that. Oh my goodness. Well, that was value for money from the instructions, but the rest of it, not entirely convinced. It's a bit big and bulky, do you know what I mean? And doesn't feel too good in the hand as a result, which is, of course, part of the game of this kind of thing. Let's get the cheapy Fidget Cube. So I've used an actual nice quality one of these, but not one that's so cheap that the box is kind of bashed up before I've even opened it. Somebody's trying to get the sticker off or something. Good God, right. Work, class, home. These are all places this will be confiscated. Oh, we have instructions. Click. No need to click that pen anymore. You'll find 3 clicker buttons and 2 silenced buttons on this side designed to satisfy the clicker. Oh, these are properly written. That's disappointing. Right, come on then. I don't know what colour it is. It's a very dark grey or a black, possibly. Right. Oh, dear. Oh. Oh, this doesn't... Oh, God. Look, you can see the inside of it coming away. Oh, it's slightly rubberised, whereas the one I got my friends was far more rubberised. It feels really sort of cheap. Actually, there's no other way of looking at it. Oh. Right, so there's 5 buttons on here that go clicky-click, and 2 of the buttons don't go click. Except they all do go click on this one, even though the instructions specifically just said they don't. Oh, man, this is cheap. There's a little thing that spins around like that. Great. A clicky button. Oh, man. Oh, this isn't anywhere near the quality of that. It's certainly not near the quality of the other one I tried. That was a lot deeper, and the rubbery stuff was better on the other one. Oh, that's got a bit of resistance. That's more interesting than the smooth ones on there. Oh, a little ball you can spin around. And pretend it's a trackpad and you're playing Marble Madness or Hypersports. And, oh dear, something that's pretending to be an analog stick. That barely moves at all. You can squish it in, but oh dear, that's horrible, horrible. If you see one of these for a decent price, and it's not a horrible piece of crap, it's quite a fun thing to sit there and fiddle with, but this cheap ones are awful. Didn't these originate on Kickstarter or something? I feel it was like a crowdfunding thing. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, that's the latest Fidget Gubbins. And if you're bored of fiddling with those, why not fiddle with a fake boglin, which is the only other thing I had to hand here right now. That's a lie. I've also got Chewbacca's clackers. Don't worry, it's not going to become a running joke. Subscribe for more.